Hello everyone, warm greetings of the day. Myself Balgopal Mahapatra, lecturer in physics of both Panchayat College Both. Today in this lecture we should go through what is electromagnetic waves of your class 12 standard physics, and under this heading of electromagnetic wave we shall discuss electromagnetic waves, what are its properties, Hertz experiment, and electromagnetic spectrum, in which we will discuss what should be the wavelength, frequency range, sources and uses of the components of electromagnetic spectrum. To begin with, let us define what is an electromagnetic wave. So electromagnetic wave, as the name suggests, it is nothing but a wave which consists of electric character as well as your magnetic character. Already we are acquainted with wave. So this electromagnetic wave, it is nothing but a transverse wave, and here this transverse wave here, it consists of oscillating magnetic and electric field which are perpendicular to each other. And for a region where there is no charge and no conduction current, according to Faraday's and Ampere's law, we have your line integral of E dot dl is your negative rate of change of magnetic flux. Here line integral of E is minus d phi v by dt, and line integral of B, the magnetic induction, it is minus mu 0 u epsilon 0 d phi e by dt. Line integral of magnetic induction equal to negative of mu 0 epsilon 0 d phi e by dt. Here d phi e by dt, it is the rate of change of electric flux, and d phi v by dt rate of change of magnetic flux, and mu 0 is the permeability of free space, and epsilon 0, it is the permittivity of free space. And it can also be shown that time varying electric field produces space varying magnetic field, and time varying magnetic field also produces space varying electric field. So we may say electric and magnetic fields are sources to each other. So we should conclude that electromagnetic wave is a wave in which the oscillating electric and magnetic fields are perpendicular to each other and also perpendicular to the direction of propagation of the wave. So the two waves are perpendicular to each other and they are perpendicular to the direction of propagation of the wave. In this way, in my finger I may show if this is two waves, suppose this is E wave, electric wave, this one is magnetic wave, both are perpendicular to each other and direction of propagation will be represented by this thumb. Then this E and this B will be perpendicular to the plane containing these two, means it is perpendicular to the direction of propagation of the wave directed by the tip of this thumb. Okay, so now what are the properties associated with electromagnetic waves? The first one here we see, before going to properties, we may represent pictorially these two waves. This is the pictorial representation of electric and magnetic character of the electromagnetic wave. We may say, here you see electric wave is given by this white type curve and magnetic wave is given by this brown curve. From this we can say how the two waves are moving in phase with each other. So here what are the different properties? One of the property we may say the electric and magnetic fields are in phase with each other, as is also represented from this figure. Number one, variations in both electric and magnetic field occur simultaneously, so they attain their maxima and minima at the same place and at the same time. Maxima and minima at the same place here you see, and at the same time as is represented in this figure. Again, the direction of electric and magnetic fields are mutually perpendicular to each other as well as to the direction of propagation of the wave. Number 3, it is very important. Here the electric field vector E and magnetic field vector B are related by the relation C equal to E0 division B0. Here C is the velocity of light in vacuum, E0 is the amplitude of electric field, B0 is the amplitude of magnetic field. So we may say speed of light in vacuum may be defined as the ratio of amplitude of electric field to the amplitude of magnetic field. So this property enable us to calculate what is the speed of light or electromagnetic wave, and it is calculated applying your Maxwell's theory of electromagnetism, that the velocity of electromagnetic wave in free space, that is C, equal to 1 divided by square root of mu 0 epsilon 0. 1 division square root of mu 0 epsilon 0. Here mu 0 is the permeability of free space, and epsilon 0, it is the permeability of free space. Mu 0 is the permeability of free space, epsilon 0, this one, epsilon 0 is the permittivity of free space. Number 5, the velocity of electromagnetic wave in any material medium other than free space is 1 division square root of mu E. Here mu and epsilon, it is epsilon, mu epsilon, here mu and epsilon are absolute permeability and absolute permittivity of the material medium. Then the other property is that electromagnetic wave obey the principle of superposition. Question arises, why electromagnetic wave obey the principle of superposition? You know that your electric and magnetic fields both obey principle of superposition. So electromagnetic wave will also obey the superposition principle, right? Next property of electromagnetic wave, that electromagnetic waves carry energy while propagating through space, and this energy, it is divided equally. It will be divided equally, not unequally, it will be divided equally between electric and magnetic fields. Next property, electromagnetic waves can transfer energy as well as momentum to objects placed on their path. Its meaning is that if electromagnetic wave is propagating on its path, you place any object, then that electromagnetic wave can transfer some energy and momentum to the object which is obstructing it, which is trying to obstructing it. And for discussion of optical effects of electromagnetic waves, here the more significance is given to electric field. So when we will take different treatments, when we will make different treatments in connection with electromagnetic wave, then electric field is playing a very important role. So electric field is generally called as light vector. What is that? Electric field is called as light vector. And electromagnetic waves do not require any material medium to propagate. No medium is necessary for the propagation of electromagnetic wave. It is quite clear. You know, your sunlight travels from sun to earth, and beyond atmosphere perfect vacuum is there, no medium is there. Still then light being an electromagnetic wave is capable of reaching earth, no problem. So it is a clear-cut evidence that electromagnetic waves for its propagation do not require any material medium. And any oscillating charge which has zero acceleration can produce electromagnetic waves, and the direction of EM wave is generally given by Poynting theorem. Direction of EM wave is given by Poynting theorem. So this idea about the electromagnetic wave, it was first of all given by James Clerk Maxwell in the year of 1865, and he is the pioneer of electromagnetic waves. And according to him, as we have seen here, the electromagnetic wave is composed of, I am again repeating, electromagnetic wave is composed of oscillating electric and magnetic fields which oscillate in mutually perpendicular direction. They will oscillate in mutually perpendicular plane, you may say. And these two planes, beside being perpendicular to each other, these are also perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. And Maxwell's derived a set of equations that is not in our plus 2 standard or class 12 standard. He derived a set of equation called Maxwell's equation, which finds a lot of importance in your electromagnetic theory branch of physics. And applying those equations called Maxwell's equation, Maxwell derived the formula for velocity of light that we are taking as C equal to this one 1 division square root of mu 0 epsilon 0, from which the velocity of light can be calculated to be equal to 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. So these are all idea about your electromagnetic wave. Now, what is Hertz experiment and how your Hertz is capable of producing such waves? Here you see two plates are there. These may be made up of either copper or zinc. Here two metal rods are there, and here you see two spheres S1 and S2, two metal spheres. These are the components of Hertz instrument, you may say Hertz apparatus. And here there is an induction coil, and the terminals are PPSS as is represented. Here you mark the connection, how these are connected. Okay, and here there is a ring type structure. In this particular case, here you mark there is a ring type structure having a opening. And here actually Hertz in the year 1888, he is a German scientist. He not only succeeded in producing electromagnetic waves but also was able to detect them. He produced electromagnetic wave as well as he detect them. Again, I am just repeating what are the component of the apparatus used by Hertz. It consists of two metallic spheres S1 and S2, which can capable of slided, or they are being slided along two rods here. These are the two metal rods shown in the figure, and there is a gap, we may say spark gap, between these two. This is the gap you have to mark. And the two rods, these are connected to two terminals of the secondary of the induction coil. This is the induction coil. SS are the two terminals of the secondary. And the receiving system here also consists of, it is a circular wire, it is the receiving system, and there is a gap, it is called as spark gap. And the spheres here, these two spheres S1 and S2, they get charged oppositely due to impulse of EMF from the induction coil, and here generally this results in radiation of energy in the form of electromagnetic waves. Here you see this results in radiation of energy in the form of electromagnetic waves, which is here you see these radiations are received by the circuit here in the form of your ring we have shown here, right? And for a copper or for proper tuning, it can be seen that spark received by the ring generally across Q also. Here it can also be, there will be a spark here in between S1 and S2, and in between S1 prime and S2 prime we can see it clearly. And here generally Hertz was able to detect the wave radiated by the gap up to a distance of several hundred feet. Also he was able to show that these waves possessed all the properties of light, which confirms Maxwell's electromagnetic theory regarding the nature of light. So Hertz experiment confirms the electromagnetic theory of nature of light, and generally in this apparatus copper or zinc plates are kept parallel, which are separated by 60 cm. Just I am reviewing it again for your clear conception. And the metal spheres are slided over the metal rods up to how much gap? To have a gap up to 3 cm. And induction coil supplies high voltage of several thousand volts, and the plates and the rods with spheres constitute the LC combination. So it will set up oscillation like an LCR circuit. And an open metallic ring, this one of diameter about 0.70 meter, having small metallic spheres, it acts as a detector. It acts as a detector generally, and this constitutes another LC combination whose frequency can be varied by changing the diameter. And due to high voltage, the air in the small gap between the sphere gets ionized. The air in the small gap between the spheres, due to the high voltage, it gets ionized. Okay, and this provides the path for the discharge of the plates. A spark begins to pass. Already I have pointed out, just repeating it for your understanding. A spark begins to pass between the spheres, and when there is a very high frequency, here a very high frequency oscillation of charges occur on the plates. Due to this high frequency oscillating, electric fields are generated in the vertical gap S1 S2. Here in this vertical gap S1 S2, high frequency wave will be generated. Consequently, what happens? An oscillating magnetic field of the same frequency is set up in the horizontal plane and perpendicular to the gap between the spheres. These oscillating electric and magnetic fields constitute electromagnetic waves, and the electromagnetic waves produced are generally radiated from the spark gap. Here what is done? That the detector is held in a position such that magnetic field produced by the oscillating current is perpendicular to the plane of the coil, and the resultant electric field induced due to this process by the oscillating magnetic field, it causes the ionization of the air in the gap between the spheres. So there is a conducting path, and that conducting path becomes available for the induced current to flow across the gap. This causes the sparks to appear at the narrow gap. But what was observed here? It was observed that this spark was most intense. Intensity is very high when the spheres S1 S2 and S1 S prime were parallel to each other. So here you see, here it is very high when S1 S2, this S1 S2 and S1 prime S2 prime are parallel to each other, then intensity is very high, it is more intense, right? So we may say here this was a clear evidence. When intensity is very high, this was a clear evidence of the polarization of the electromagnetic waves. So Hertz was able to produce electromagnetic waves of wavelength to about a value of 6 meter. The wavelength of electromagnetic wave, EM wave, produced by Hertz is nearly approximately 6 meter, and after 7 years Jagdish Chandra Bose, J.C. Bose, succeeded, an Indian scientist, in producing the EM waves of wavelength whose range is from 25 millimeter to 5 millimeter. So this is all about how Hertz produce EM wave. Now let us discuss about the complete electromagnetic spectrum. According to Maxwell's electromagnetic theory, as we have seen, the electromagnetic wave consists of the combination of varying electric and magnetic fields which are perpendicular to each other. So this theory not only effected a union of light with a vast range of other radiations, but also it made the entire subject a branch of electricity and magnetism. It made the entire subject of electromagnetic wave a branch of your electricity and what we have stated as magnetism. And the deep wave comprising electromagnetic spectrum are radio wave, microwave, infrared wave, and light visible spectrum, you may say. There may be gamma ray, there may be X-rays, microwaves, and so on and so forth. So let us go through one by one. What is radio wave? Radio wave is a wave whose wavelength is ranged from a few kilometer to 0.3 meter, and generally its frequency lies from a few hertz to 10 to the power 9 hertz, and radio wave are generally produced by oscillating electronic circuit. And we know there is a wide use of your radio waves. These are used in radio and TV broadcasting, radio and television broadcasting. Both broadcasting and telecasting are possible with the help of radio waves only. Next we will go for what is a microwaves. So microwaves will have wavelength from or in the region from 0.3 meter to 10 to the power minus 3 meter. In other words, waves having wavelength in the region of 0.3 meter to 10 to the power minus 3 meter are called microwaves, and these waves here you see should have frequencies 10 to the power 9 hertz to 3 into 10 to the power 11 hertz, and these are produced by oscillating electronic circuits. These microwaves can be produced by oscillating electronic circuits, and these waves are used to carry telephone and television communication across the continents. It is used in radar for analysis of fine details of atomic and molecular structures, and in microwave oven. So it finds a lot of use. Next, let us come to your infrared wave, whose wavelength should have range from 10 to the power minus 3 meter to 7.8 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter. Its frequency lies in between 3 into 10 to the power 11 hertz to 4 into 10 to the power 14 hertz, and generally it is produced by molecules and hot bodies. Remember, infrared waves are produced by molecules and hot bodies. Okay, hot bodies. When bodies are heated, then only it can be produced. Next we will come to your light or visible spectrum. So your light, it is in the visible region, and it belongs to the region which is visible to your human eye, and its range is from 7.8 to means wavelength is from 7.8 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter to 3.8 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter. So their frequencies range is from 4 into 10 to the power 14 hertz to 8 into 10 to the power 14 hertz. And generally these waves are emitted by incandescent bodies, and here also it can be produced or generated by atoms and molecules when electrons are excited. And your light or visible spectrum can be used for in optics, the branch of physics dealing with study of light, in optical instruments, vision, photography. So one may say here that here your light or visible spectrum, generally these are capable of affecting your photographic plates. They can affect photographic plates. Next wave of your electromagnetic spectrum is ultraviolet rays. Ultraviolet rays will have wavelength from 3.8 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter to 6 into 10 to the power minus 10 meter, and when expressed in terms of frequency, it is from 8 into 10 to the power 14 hertz to 3 into 10 to the power 7 hertz. So how these will be produced? These are produced, ultraviolet rays are produced by atoms and molecules in electrical discharges and sun. Okay, and you see these are not visible to eye. Ultraviolet rays are not visible to eye. This is an ability to cause chemical change, including the effect on photographic plate. These radiations can be detected by their ability to produce fluorescence in certain metals. So these waves have important biological effects such as production of vitamin D in the skin. You know, in this COVID period, vitamin D is very much necessary, and a certain range of wavelengths is the cause of sunburn, and ultraviolet rays from a mercury lamp kill bacteria and are used for sterilizing foods and utensils. You see, these are the different applications. So we may say your ultraviolet rays finds medical application, sterilization. It can be used for sterilizing. It is used to kill bacteria and germs in foodstuffs. We can detect invisible writing using ultraviolet rays, or forged document or fingerprint can be detected using ultraviolet rays. So vast application, very, very important. Next is another important wave. It is called X-rays. What are X-rays actually? X-rays will have wavelength ranging from 10 to the power minus 9 meter to 6 into 10 to the power minus 12 meter, and if it is expressed in terms of frequency, this value will be 3 into 10 to the power 17 hertz to 5 into 10 to the power 19 hertz. And first of all, in the year 1895, Rontgen generally he discovered X-ray. So why it is called as X-ray? When Rontgen discovered this ray, initially in the beginning stage, he was unable to study the detail about X-ray. Its property was not known. Different aspects of it was totally in dark. So just for an unknown quantity in mathematics, we take the unknown quantity as X. What Rontgen did? He took, suppose this ray is X. So till that nowadays we are generally calling it as X-rays. Also it is called as Rontgen rays. It is generally very high penetrating power. It has the property of penetrating the obstacles using opaque to visible to light. Those substances which are opaque to visible light can be penetrated using X-ray, and these waves are produced. How these X-rays can be produced? These are produced when a beam of high energy electrons is incident on a substance of high atomic weight like a tungsten, and this can be detected by a photographic plate. They have your extensive use, we will see, in your surgery, radiotherapy, engineering, scientific research, X-ray photography, in medical science, in for the treatment of cancer, skin disease, tumor, locating cracks and flaws in finished metal objects, detection of smuggled goods in bags of a person, and study of crystal structure, etc. But X-ray can be produced, as it is told to you, by bombarding substances of high atomic weight with high energy electron. So inner or more tightly bound electrons in atoms are source of X-rays. We can conclude that inner or more tightly bound electrons in atoms are the source of generally X-rays. Then the final component, last component of this electromagnetic spectrum is gamma ray. And these gamma ray overlap the upper limit of the X-ray. and these waves, gamma ray waves, possess wavelengths in between 10 to the power minus 10 meter to 10 to the power minus 14 meter, having frequencies in between 3 into 10 to the power 18 hertz to 3 into 10 to the power 22 hertz. And generally these are emitted by radioactive substances. And how this can be used? These are used for having information about structure of nuclei in the field of astronomical research, etc., because these are highly penetrating. And these gamma rays can also be produced due to, as already we have explained, due to the transition of nucleides from a higher quantum state to a lower quantum state, and from conversion of matter into radiation. So this is all about electromagnetic spectrum. Now let us throw some light on some numerical problem, a brief discussion on one or more numerical problem or numerical example. To begin with, first one, a radio can tune into any station in 7.5 megahertz to 12 megahertz bands. What is the corresponding wavelength band? Here you see minimum frequency is 7.5 hertz, nu1 is 7.5 megahertz, 1 megahertz is 10 to the power 6 hertz, so nu1 is 7.5 into 10 to the power 6 hertz. Suppose maximum frequency is nu2, it is given 12 megahertz, it is 12 into 10 to the power 6 hertz. We know speed of light in vacuum is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Now, how to calculate frequency nu1? You know C equal to lambda 1 nu1 or lambda 1 equal to C by nu1. Substitute the value of C as 3 into 10 to the power 8, nu1 is 7.5 into 10 to the power 6. If you calculate it, it will be 40 meter. So lambda 1 is 40 meter. And corresponding wavelength lambda 2 in a similar manner will be equal to C by nu2. C is 3 into 10 to the power 8 division 12 into 10 to the power 6 means 12 meter. So the wavelength band of the radio is from 40 meter to 25 meter. Okay, 40 meter to 25 meter. Next one, it is given the amplitude of the magnetic field of a harmonic electromagnetic wave in vacuum is B0 equal to 510 nanotesla. NT means nanotesla. What is the amplitude of the electric field part of the wave? Amplitude means here you see maximum value. B0 is 510 nanotesla for vacuum, and 1 nanotesla equal to 10 to the power minus 9 tesla. So it will be equal to 510 into 10 to the power minus 9 tesla. Again, given value of C, velocity of light in vacuum, is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Now let us use the formula that we have known from the properties of electromagnetic wave. C equal to E0 division B0. Substitute B0 here to obtain E0, amplitude of electric part of the wave that is to be calculated. So C will be E0 will be equal to CB0. Substitute for C as 3 into 10 to the power 8. B0 is 510 into 10 to the power 9. After calculation, value will be approximately 153 Newton per coulomb or so. So this is the amplitude of electric part of the wave. So this is all about your electromagnetic wave. You must have definitely enjoyed this lecture. Have a very happy learning, and thank you all.